Hi there, Yang here. For those who doesn't know me, my name is Dirk Peters from Belgium. I'm a member of the Worldwide Gamers United community. We most do play games together. That can be World War II games, adventure games, you name it, like Miscreated, the Outlaws of the Wild West, for example. So it's a really, we are not that big at the moment, but I'm more the guy that is focusing on yeah, game development, but in the sense of how do you do this? Because it's amazing if you sometimes play games and how they switch the weapons and the animations, and yeah, it's pretty nice. So I think around 4 years ago, before I was working with, I was testing with Unity, not working with Unity, but testing, same like I'm doing now with the Unreal Engine. And 4 years ago, I started then working on the Unreal Engine things, but also how do they move, the little things and work up. Okay, but now this playlist will be about the Ascent Combat Framework, action RPG creator. And like you see here, how can we use this framework? This is a new framework. Um, I'm not gonna lie, maybe 2 weeks or 1 week or something. It's pretty new. So if you go to the marketplace and you type in ACF, you will then come to this part. And like here, I'm not gonna go over everything around here because that you can find on the official documentations and everything that I will tell you. But what I'm more focusing on is like what can we do with it, and how can we do it, and like for me it's not the shooting of the weapon and those things that is mainly my focus, but really building from scratch a game with this framework by putting in the items I want. How can I create those items? Um, how can I use my own animations, for example? So that is more the things we're going to talk about here. So the Ascent Combat Framework. So the first steps after you buy this plugin and then prepare your project. Okay, it will be overlapping the official playlist in some manners, but like for example, okay, I need to create a character, so that will be also in it. The weapon, maybe because I'm not focusing on a weapon, I'm focusing on a tool. So like in the sense of mining, harvesting, cutting trees, those things. Creating a gun, yes, because I want to have the animal behavior kit in my project, and the animals will be the wild animals that you can hunt. So not the interactable riding kind of or mounting like it's called in the plugin. So I'm really will be focusing on tools and those things. Also the moveset will come in it, but I really need to first study it before we will go working on it. That is the main goal of this playlist. Okay, so to go back, yeah, I already created the project because my computer is not running pretty great at the moment. I think my CPU got overheated last month, so it's really terrible. And to give you an idea, if I place a building, I need to wait maybe 2 minutes before it reacts again and stuff like that. So that's why we're gonna keep it simple. So okay, so you were okay, you buy, okay, then when you buy, you will be having a lot of questions, same like me. And same like me, I'm not a professional, I'm doing this for hobby. So, and I'm not, okay, wrote this guide, but I'm not a reading type of person, so I really I really hate spending hours and reading books, forums, Facebook, you name it. That's not my thing, really. I cannot spend my time on it. I really like to, yeah, test something. Like they say, test until there comes smoke out of the PC, you know. That is more my thing to do. So that is what we're trying to do now also. So here we go. Before you buy this, then to get access to all the documentation and support, we advise you to get in contact with Pask. It's also mentioned in his official guide. Okay, so that is the first thing you do. What you need to do is you need to send him a mail with a verification that you buy his asset. So basically a copy of your invoice. That is what you need to send to him. Once he verifies your account or your buy, you will be having access to the actual channels, and then you will have all the support. That is for that. Then once you have your access, you will be also having access to the sample projects. Like if you see here, when you go to the description, you can sample builds, but then once you have the access, you have access to the sample projects, and you can go to his Discord and you can then look at the tutorials or the other channels. So to come back, okay, so you download the projects. It's at the moment one project for 2 versions, version 4.24 and version 4.25. I'm gonna follow along like they describe in the official tutorial, in the official guide. So I'm gonna use, or I already did, build C++, so a new C++ project, a blank one, same like what our friend Mighty Mouse is doing on his playlist. So they advise it, even if you don't use C++, you never know, it's always handy to start with it. That's what they advise us, so that's what we're gonna do. Then what we also going to do before we're going to do anything else is first create a folder. Just that will be, I already did it, so that it will be this one. Just create somewhere on your computer a folder. You can delete it later, so that is no problem, but this will be, we need to do some backups, like I'm calling it, because that is the correct word to describe it. We're gonna to back up some settings. We then will be importing in the new project so that the plugin is set up correctly. Okay, so that is also in the official one. I need to do it, so I go also over it. That is that. Then quickly go. So download and zip it. Okay, then if you did not already install the plugin to the engine, go to your launcher, go to the asset and install it to the version you want to work with. Okay, so once that is done, then we going, I need to do it, but I'm forgetting something very important that they told me. Once you download it and unzipped everything, you need to do one thing. You need to, where did I put them? Here did I put them. I already did it now. So what you need to do is you open the folder, you right click on this starting thing, and you generate the Visual Studio project files. That is the first thing you need to do before you do start anything. So that is what they advise you. I didn't do that in 25, it was working, but they advise it, so do it. Okay, so that is the project. I don't need that for the moment, so okay. And now we're gonna start. I created a new C++ project that is this one. It's completely empty, okay? It's completely empty. We're going to open the project settings. Yes, no, not project. We are one step too early. I am here. So manage plugins we go, and we're gonna enable the plugins we want to use. Okay, so this one is the one we need to restart. So let it do this one. Keep it aside for for a moment, and we're gonna open our example project. I'm gonna drag it over here. I'm gonna open that. I'm not gonna go over anything. Okay, yep. Hold on, how to? You need to wait for a second. So I'm not gonna go over anything about this, so I'm just gonna go directly to edit project settings. And what I'm gonna do is go to the gameplay tags at the top right. You have the export button, export. Then where did I start it? Let me look. What did I call it? Is it this one? Hold on, did I don't make it? Was it on that one or was it on F? No, on F. So this one was it. So save. Then we go to the RPG, and like we can, but this one we need to again export. Just save. Ascend combat framework. Export. Find your direction. Save. Collision. There's nothing in it. They say you need to do it. So okay. Okay. That one. Save. And the input. That is what we need to do here. Export. Again. Oh, direction, backup, and save. Okay, that is what we're gonna do. So that is the project. Okay, leave it at the side for them now. Then I'm gonna export. So here that will be the next part. So I wrote it quickly, so let's see. Okay, okay. We'll stay around here. Leave it like that. So that is what we're gonna do in the next thing now. So we're going to open the new project. That, yeah, the other ones I will enable later. So okay. Very important, like Mighty Mouse and Pask are saying, the order in how you do this is pretty important. So the first thing we need to do is import the gameplay tags. That is what we're gonna do. And like it's now a new update, so it can react differently. So what we're gonna do, gameplay tags, now not hit the export, but we're gonna import. We're gonna go to our direction, we back up, and I need to have the gameplay text. That's one. Okay. For this step, it's wise to restart. So close. Now find it. Voila, here. Open. Okay, let it do. Now I do it like this. So I'm gonna go, let that one do. I'm gonna drag the other one now here. So now we're gonna do that step. So now I'm just gonna open it, go to content. You need to wait now. Right click, migrate. Yep, that's okay. Then we need to up. I think it was around here. Up, and we need to add the content folder. Select the folder. Wait a second. Yeah, okay, that's no problem. I'm not gonna show it. We know that that can happen, but it's normally not a big deal. So this I don't need no more at the moment. So that will be closed. So that is what we did. So okay, open the sample project, migrate. You see, click yes, set it to the folder. Now we will close. Blah 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 blah. And now we need to import. Okay, so now we're gonna start to do the rest. Then this one we need again, that one, import. Yeah, I find if I do it like this it works pretty good. So what we are in RPG, that one. Okay, you got the same problem as before. Just hit edit, edit, voila, that is okay. That seems to be good. That is also good. Yeah, I think it's got something to do. I don't know what is. Yeah, I think it's got something to do with the structures. When I build my project or my thing, I also use structures in it, and when I migrate my to a new project, it always mess up the structures. So not mess up the structure, but if you want to create a new data table, you don't find your structure, then you need to go in your structure, open it, save it, and then it's okay. How stupid! Same like now, we need to click on the button to have it activated. So now the next one, import that one, and that one. Open, quickly verify, same thing. Wow, it's annoying, but once you know it, yeah, it's no big deal. Okay, so that was still not in there, huh? Like it's still working. They are working on it, so I now got this maybe 3 days or maybe a week at the moment, but okay. But no, the support, to be honest, the support is good. Like I see they are heavily working on it. That they don't have the documentation up to date, it's normal, you know. You cannot code a program and directly have a complete up-to-date documentation. Then yeah, here's nothing in it, so yeah, but they advise to do it, so we're gonna do that. Have backup collision, then there's only one more to go. That one import, it's a blank project, so we don't interfere. If you don't have a blank project, you go into your, hold on, I will show you that one. Okay, so yep, if you don't have it, hold on, was it still open? Yep. Then you go in config, and then you go in open with Node++, and then what you can do is I think it was here, you can select everything what you want, you copy it and you put it in this you do in the example, I mean, so in the example you copy this and you put it in your default ini, and if you have overlapping things you then can correct them. You see, I got I do it all the time like that. So okay, yeah, that we don't need. So that is it for the basic setup normally. Okie dokie. Now let me see. We have our example. And where was it? Was it over here? No, it was, I think. No, where was it here? Oh, you see? No, I think then it's over here. Oh yeah, here. You need to enable that. Then they show engine content and show plugin content. Those things we need. C++, yeah, you can. You see, it's a C++ project, but we don't need it, but it's there. If you need it, it's there. So I don't need it. I need to have this one. So that is the plugin. Like, I'm gonna finish this and we can close this also. So that is what I'm explaining with clicking the so okay. So now congratulations, you set up. So what I suggest you to do first, build your folder structure. Yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. Import the assets you want to use, read the documentation and follow Mighty Mouse playlist to get a better understanding. You got like a long one, but then you don't need to go in the playlist. You need to click on his name and find. So it's basically where he goes unboxing, I think it's called. That one you need to look. That is pretty interesting. And then there's another link on here. So this I think was Mighty Mouse once, and this is the other one. I did not fully look at this, but do it. It's interesting. So you don't need to like I'm focusing on the crafting and I will try to build a workbench and stuff like that. But if you really want into the sword fighting and those things, then I think it's better to look on those. Okay, so what? Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Then here we're gonna share some tips. Mighty Mouse does it also, but for those who doesn't know, and it's really true, but they don't tell you. Believe me, if you go on Udemy and you follow a course or on another thing, they barely speak about it, that you need to do it, but it's pretty important that you do it. And what if you start, like what we now we need to do, we need to create our own folder structure. We need to duplicate existing blueprints from inside the plugin, from inside the sample project to our own folder. You need to do the retargeting and so on and so on. These are really heavy modifications, changing the references. And when you start doing those kinds of actions, you need to, it's not wise to do it. No, you need to do this. You need to go on, I will do this, I didn't do anything, but I will do it. So you're gonna go on the main content folder, and then you see like fix up redirectors in folders. What you also can do, if you're not pretty sure, but now I really need to look where it was. Was it over here? Hold on, it was somewhere. Redirectors. Where was it? Redirect here. Redirector. I think, yeah. This one you need to put on. So then, if you're working, you can see, oh, I did some actions. Oh, the redirector is still alive. So I need to go to content, fix up redirectors in folder, and then we will do, but now there's nothing happening because it's a fresh project. So okay, so that. So quickly go back. Okay, that is one thing, and really do it, because if you're not doing it, it refers to old settings and stuff like that. So it's basically building a website and you forget to control to press Control F5 that you get the new page from the server, instead of pressing F5 that you just refresh the page. It's the same. You really need to remove all the other things you did. So then another one that is also what they are really pointing the finger on, and I understand, because I test a lot and, and also came to stupid things sometimes. So never work in your plugin folder. That is something stupid to do, to be honest. Like, a plugin is a tool that will be updated, and if you, for example, do not know what the creator, in this case Pask, and his team modified in the plugin, and he updates it, and you enable the update in the plugin. It's engine based, so it's not like in your project that you have your project and you got some assets that are updated and you need to re-import them and or those things. No, you really modifying code, and when you then have a update, it's overridden, because it's always going to take the new code and you lose everything. So don't do that. You really need to work from following the guide, the official guide, and duplicate or create child classes. That is what you need to do. You can rename, that is not always a bad idea, but you need to pay attention that you don't rename very important things that are maybe hard coded into the code itself that you don't know about. Then you mess up. So if you are able to create a child or a duplicate, then you can name it whatever you want, or the guide will say it must be that name, So what I also want you guys to ask, just as users, it's new, we need to learn. A lot of people, same like me, maybe are not that great in reading the documentation and understanding everything. So same, I speak English, I read English, but I'm a Dutch guy, I speak Dutch, so, and like I say, I'm not a reading kind of person. So I'm watching YouTube, I follow some, but like here there's no Udemy thing, so we need to find out by ourselves. So, and it's not easy. That's why I'm gonna start with building the structure, and we will see how far we can get. So like I say, start by duplicating. Yep. So for those who I would like to show or help others in understanding the framework, feel free to share your knowledge with others by showing how you came to your result. Thanks, and enjoy working with the Ascent Combat framework. So that is where I stop my compact setup. So this is, I send it to Pask to read it. If he finds it okay, he can always give it to you guys, that you have a quick reference. So okay, now that I don't need, that can be closed. That is already the preparation for our thing. That is Mighty Mouse. Keep it open. This one is it. Ascent Combat Framework unboxing. That is pretty, because they are not bad. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not breaking this guy down or anything. Totally not. It's difficult to if you don't do it often, it's really not easy to stream and record and even if it's fresh, that's why it's pretty new. But you do a good job. You do. But for me, it's these things were useful. I'm not into the weapons at the moment, so and then the movement set that's a part of the weapons, and then this I didn't watch them all at the I watched them all, but did not came into it. Just curious how he explains it. Okay, and then if you click on its name, hold on. Close that for a second. So then you have like SVK integration, statics, stamina, hunger, and that is what I'm going to try to do, but not SVK and that is the hunger. I want to only focus on the framework itself, not focusing on integrating extra. Like I don't think it's how must I say, the code to build something. So you have a framework, you have something you can build. There's code already in it, there are nodes already provided. You don't need to find out the hot water again. You know, it's useless to okay, the inventory is simple, but the inventory is there. The functionality of the inventory, of the crafting, of that is there. You need to build your hut. If you really want to import a very advanced inventory system and start modifying everything, it's up to you. I'm not that guy. Then I say, like, I can better try to build the GUI, like they say it, then importing. For example, I can show you, I have him, the whole, like you see him, like for where's E, crafting, blah 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 blah. Where was E? There we are. E, blah, blah, blah. No, the other one's E. This is. So this one, that is my latest one I buy. It's good, don't say it's but it comes with the equipment, it comes with stats. Why should I put it in there? Then I have everything double. I have the stats double. I have the inventory double. I have the equipment system double. For what? For changing nodes to do adjust. Then no, then I am more like the guy that let's find out how we, for example, can build that GUI thing. Okay, so you will understand what I mean. So that is that. I will now, what I'm going to do now before we continue, I think it's maybe wiser now to okay, not filter, but I need to see, it was over here, I think. No, I will find out where it was for the redirectors, but let's keep that in mind. Right mouse, fix up redirectors and folders when you do big changes. Okay, let's quickly look how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a folder. That is the first part. What I'm gonna call this folder, I'm gonna call this, hope this works. Sometimes do crazy things. Content. Yeah. That is that. Give it a color. I'm gonna make it like so. Well, that I have a little bit of color in it. Then another one, and that will be, well, I'll call it main hood. I can always rename that later. Then again, set a color, new color. I'm gonna take blue. Voila, that is the main thing. Okay, then main hood. Open that one. Create a new folder. So I'm gonna make test levels. Save current. Main hood. Test levels. That's not. Wow. Keep it simple. Okay. Click on that guy. And where all my. There he is. Then I'm going to put that 5. That also 5. That will be okay for now. Yep. I don't need a lot of space. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to here. Move a bow. Yeah, I'm not gonna work with foliage at the moment, so I don't think we need to do special settings. If so, I will see, like setting the distance meshes or additional foliage that I will do when I came to it. Okay, that is that. So we saved our test level. Go back to the main route. Let me think. What do I need? The content in here I'm going to migrate. Oh yeah, that's true. I don't need to migrate anymore. Hold on. No, that was the wrong. So yeah, okay. Main route, because I need to restart, and if I build now a complete structure, when I reopen it, it's gone, so it's no use. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close the video here, and if you're following along, what I'm only going to import or add to the project will be, let me see, I'm gonna take the nail. I'm gonna take the nail. That is the first thing I'm gonna do. That I'm not gonna import because we got a horse also. So later on I will do that. So this one I will do over there. Add it. Like I say, I don't want any of the. I don't want to have any of the things of the inventory and weapon systems and blah 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 blah. I don't need this. I need to have, where is he? Vegetables. That is one, but I have normally another one. That also, yeah, that's not for the moment. My icons, I'm looking for my icons. That is what I want. Icons, well, okay. These icons I want. If it's not like there you see, and then the closest version 24 at the project. Hold on, I'm going to go to the bottom just quickly to see if I'm not flipping over something I want. The animation I didn't want, I say. No, okay, so hold on. Now I'm going to go up again. Targeting. No. scalable map will also be later in it. The liquid thing, well, yeah, I'm gonna add it. I like it. It's nice to have like the health potions and milk or water or whatever. It's pretty nice, portals. Those guys I'm not gonna use. Otherwise, I know myself. I go over it too quickly. Otherwise, multiplayer. No. Modeler. That one I need. Mega scans. There was another one, not mega scans. Oh, where did I put it? Effects I'm also not going to bother with at the moment. The horse I'm not gonna use yet. The head pack I can do later. This I don't need because it's not that kind of game. This one I need. Put back. Same thing. Bing. Where am I? Here we are. Let's do the project. So I got my food. I got my icons. There are normally that also. That are the animations. One of the animations. Yeah, that I'm not gonna do now either because I can always import that later. That. Yeah, that is new. I need to check, but it's looking interesting. Let me look. The boat is not for now. Where is the other one? This one I also need, but there was normally another. I think I flipped over it. Crafting animations, you see? I flipped over it. Voila. That will be... No, I think I missed one. Crafting. Ah, here. Voila. Crafting, that one. Okay. Voila. So, what I'm now going to do, let it do. Okay, so that you can wait, but leave it like it is. I'm gonna close this video and I will go quickly take a smoke and eat something, and then I will record a new one. Okay, so see you in a bit. Thanks for watching.